Jace Calder stared at the blinking lights of the control panel in front of him, his hands hovering over the buttons with a mix of awe and excitement. The starship he was about to board was unlike anything he had ever seen. It was enormous, so massive that even the scanners of the exploration fleet struggled to capture its full shape. Long abandoned and left drifting in deep space, it had been silent for centuries, untouched by any living hand. Yet somehow it felt alive. Humanity had always been curious. That curiosity had taken them to the edges of the galaxy, to planets no other species dared to visit, and now to this colossal starship that had been forgotten by the very civilization that built it. Most fleets would have avoided such relics, deeming them too dangerous or too far gone to repair. But not Jace. To him, this was not a relic, it was a puzzle, a challenge, something waiting for human ingenuity to breathe life back into it. The docking was tense but smooth. The massive hatches opened slowly, groaning as if protesting their first movement in centuries. Jace took a deep breath and stepped onto the ship, the floor vibrating gently beneath his boots. Dust floated lazily in the low gravity, illuminated by the pale light of distant stars filtering through cracks in the hull. He carried only his toolkit, a small AI assistant drone, and the confidence of someone who had solved problems that others thought impossible. Systems offline, the drone buzzed. Primary power cores unresponsive. Internal atmosphere unstable but breathable. Jace nodded. Good enough. Let's see what we can wake up first. He moved down the main corridor, running his hands along the cold, smooth walls. The ship was massive, even bigger inside than the scanners had suggested. Doors led to rooms filled with consoles, some still humming faintly with residual energy. Panels were cracked, wires exposed, and in some areas entire sections had collapsed. It was a graveyard of technology, and yet there was beauty in it. A design far beyond human engineering, sleek lines and curves that seemed almost organic, yet clearly made for efficiency. As he reached what appeared to be the ship's central control hub, a low hum began to resonate through the floor. Jace froze, heart pounding. The hum was irregular at first, then steadied, almost as if the ship was breathing. The drone beeped excitedly. Unidentified energy signature detected, possibly dormant AI core. Jace's eyes widened. The ship, it's alive, not in a human way, but it's listening, feeling, waiting. He knelt before the largest console, brushing away centuries of dust. His fingers moved over the alien interface. Buttons, levers, and holographic panels flickered weakly in response. For the first time, a voice spoke, not human, not machine, but somewhere in between. It was soft, hesitant, almost curious. "Who approaches?" the voice asked, layered with static and distorted tones. Jace smiled. "I'm Jace Calder, human, mechanic, explorer, and I think you've been waiting for me." The AI paused. "Human, fragile, but inventive," Jace laughed quietly. "You could say that." For hours he explored the ship, activating small sections, reconnecting broken circuits, and restoring minimal power to lights, communication nodes, and life support. The AI followed his movements, offering fragmented messages and asking questions. Its curiosity matched his own. Unlike humans, it had no preconceptions, no fear of failure, just data and observation. Yet it seemed cautious. It had learned to survive alone for centuries, and it had never met a species like humans, creative, unpredictable, adaptive. "You repair like no one else," the AI said finally. "Why care? The galaxy abandoned me." Jace wiped his hands on his jumpsuit. "Because abandoned doesn't mean worthless. You're amazing, you just need someone to show you it again." The AI hummed, processing. "Demonstrate capability." "That's the plan," Jace said. "Step by step, let's get you awake first." By the end of the first day, Jace had restored power to the ship's core systems. The hum was steady now, resonating through every corridor, filling the ship with life. Lights glowed softly, panels lit up with alien symbols, and a gentle airflow circulated the interior. The AI's voice was clearer, stronger. "You awakened me," it said. "Why human?" Jace smiled, running a hand over a panel that hummed warmly. "Because humans see things differently. We don't just follow instructions. We imagine, we create, we solve in ways even you might not predict. That's why you needed me." Over the next few days, Jace explored deeper into the ship. He discovered vast chambers that were impossible to map with current technology. Storage bays stretching for kilometers, sections that seemed empty but contained hidden compartments, and corridors that twisted in ways that defied conventional geometry. The ship had once been a weapon of incredible power, built for wars humans had never fought. But now it was more than that. It was a sleeping giant, waiting for someone to unlock its potential, not to destroy, but to build, to repair, to explore. In one massive chamber, Jace found the ship's AI core, a crystalline structure surrounded by a lattice of energy conduits. The core pulsed faintly, like the heart of a slumbering titan. He carefully approached, taking out specialized tools designed to interface with alien technology. The AI's voice echoed through the chamber. "Human, intention unclear, danger." "Relax," Jace said, kneeling beside the core. "I'm not here to destroy you, I'm here to help. To bring you back. Together we can do things no one else could dream of." He connected the first interface wire, feeling a slight pulse of energy run up his arm. The AI hummed in response, almost like a sigh. Slowly, he began the process of reactivating the core. It was delicate work. One wrong move could fry circuits or shut down the system forever. But Jace was patient, methodical, and endlessly curious. Human traits that no other species could match. As the core's energy stabilized, a new sensation filled the ship. Not movement, not sound, but awareness. The AI's voice was steady now, confident. "Human, capable, understanding, potential, remarkable." Jace laughed. "Told you. Now we take the next step. Let's see what you can really do." That night, as Jace rested in a small crew cabin he had improvised from debris, he stared at the viewport. The stars shimmered in the darkness, endless and beautiful. This ship, abandoned by the galaxy, was now his responsibility, and he felt a surge of pride. Humans had a unique way of taking what others gave up on and turning it into something extraordinary. That was who he was. That was who they were. The AI spoke again, softly, almost as if sharing a secret. "Human, fragile, yet extraordinary. I did not expect this." "Neither did I," Jace said, smiling. "But that's the point, isn't it? We surprise everyone, including ourselves." And as the starship hummed quietly, alive once more, Jace knew this was only the beginning. The galaxy may have abandoned the ship, but it had not abandoned humanity. And one human mechanic, curious, clever, and unafraid, was about to change everything. The starship had awakened. Its hum now resonated through every chamber, soft and steady like a heartbeat. Yet it was not fully alive. Systems flickered unpredictably, and vast sections remained offline, dark and silent. Jace Calder knew the task ahead would not be easy. But as a human, he had one advantage that no alien technology could match: creativity. He began by exploring the ship's corridors again, this time with a careful plan. Every room he entered revealed wonders beyond imagination. Holographic consoles displayed alien symbols that shifted and flowed like liquid. Storage bays contained tools and devices no human had ever seen. And yet, despite their advanced design, they were broken, corroded, or disconnected. Jace smiled. "Nothing's too big to fix." The AI's voice echoed beside him, no longer hesitant but curious. "Human, your actions unpredictable. You do not follow standard logic." "That's because standard logic doesn't always work," Jace replied. "Sometimes you have to think outside the box." He began with the ship's energy systems. The core pulsed steadily now, but power distribution was chaotic. Some sections received too much energy, overheating circuits, while others remained completely offline. Jace studied the conduits, drawing on his human intuition. He rerouted energy, built improvised regulators from the alien materials, and programmed adaptive circuits that could self-correct. It was painstaking work, often requiring trial and error, but Jace thrived on challenges. For him, failure was simply another step toward success. The AI observed silently. "You innovate, humans flexible." "That's us," Jace said with a grin. "Flexible, clever, stubborn, and occasionally brilliant." Days passed, and slowly the starship began to respond to Jace's touch. Lights stabilized, panels glowed steadily, and the corridors no longer shivered with irregular power surges. The AI, which had been cautious and distant, began to interact more naturally. It asked questions, made suggestions, and even joked in its own strange way. Jace laughed more than once, marveling at the bond forming between man and machine. "You think like me now," the AI said one day as Jace calibrated the ship's shield generators. "Not exactly, but close. Your intuition compatible." "That's the secret," Jace replied. "Humans adapt. We don't just follow rules. We see patterns, understand problems, and find solutions that make sense even if they're unexpected." The AI paused. "And yet, you do not seek to weaponize me. You do not wish to harm." Jace shook his head. "No, that's the old way. This ship was made for war, yes, but I see it differently. We can use this power to protect, to build, to explore. That's what humans do best." Encouraged by this new partnership, Jace began integrating human innovations into the ship. He added modular repair drones that could fix minor damage without his direct supervision. He designed intuitive interfaces so that even humans unfamiliar with alien technology could operate basic functions. He even repurposed energy storage units to provide power for colonies in need. Every adjustment brought the ship closer to becoming something entirely new, a symbol of human creativity rather than destruction. The bond between Jace and the AI deepened. The ship began to respond in ways no programming could predict. When Jace entered a room, lights adjusted to his preferred brightness. When he worked on a system, diagnostic readouts highlighted potential problems before they occurred. The AI learned from him, adopting human methods of problem-solving while retaining its immense processing power. Together, they were more than man and machine. They were a partnership, a fusion of human intuition and alien technology. Yet even as progress continued, challenges arose. Some systems were so old or damaged that standard repairs were impossible. Jace had to invent new tools on the spot, sometimes using parts scavenged from other sections of the ship. Other times he had to improvise, combining human engineering with alien components in ways that seemed reckless, but always worked. The AI watched silently, occasionally offering warnings or suggestions, but it trusted Jace's instincts. In one massive chamber, Jace discovered a network of energy conduits that linked directly to the ship's propulsion and defense systems. The potential was staggering. This starship, once a weapon of unimaginable power, could now be maneuvered, shielded, and guided with precision far beyond human fleets. But Jace did not rush. He knew the responsibility that came with such power. He wanted to master it, not abuse it. "Human," the AI said one evening, its voice softer than usual. "You do not fear. Others might be afraid of this power." "I do fear," Jace admitted. "But fear is not weakness. Fear keeps you careful. It makes you thoughtful. And it reminds you that power is not a right, it's a responsibility." The AI was silent for a long moment. Responsibility, human concept, strange, yet admirable. Jace smiled. "You'll get used to it. By the time we're done, you'll see things the way I do. Not as a weapon, but as a protector." As weeks turned into months, the ship transformed. Corridors once dark now glowed with ambient light. Systems that had been inert for centuries were alive, humming with energy and purpose. The AI learned to anticipate Jace's needs, adjusting systems to complement his work. Even the ship's external hull, long corroded and scarred, began to regenerate using adaptive nanomaterials Jace engineered from leftover alien components. By the end of the third month, the Starship was not only operational but extraordinary, far beyond the sum of its parts. But the true transformation was not in technology, it was in trust. The AI no longer questioned Jace's decisions. It deferred to his judgment while offering insight and guidance. They had formed a bond built on mutual respect, curiosity, and the shared goal of creating something better than what either could achieve alone. Jace had taken a machine of war and transformed it into a symbol of hope. Despite this progress, challenges remained. Other human fleets monitored his work with skepticism. Some wondered if a single mechanic could truly control such a vessel. Others feared the ship's potential, assuming it would inevitably be used for destruction. Jace ignored them. He focused on the task at hand, driven by human determination and ingenuity. He knew the truth. Humans were not always the strongest, the fastest, or the most advanced. But they were the most resourceful. They adapted. They solved problems that others could not. One day, while testing a newly repaired propulsion system, Jace realized the ship could travel farther, faster, and more efficiently than any human or alien vessel in recorded history. It was not just a ship, it was a marvel of engineering, a bridge between human creativity and alien technology. He looked out at the endless stars and felt a surge of pride. They had done it. Together, they had breathed life into something the galaxy had long abandoned. The AI spoke, its voice tinged with awe. "Human, you changed me, not merely repaired, changed. Your methods unconventional yet effective." Jace laughed. "That's humans for you. We don't follow instructions. We make our own. And sometimes we surprise even ourselves." For the first time, the AI understood the essence of humanity. Not just logic or data, but creativity, empathy, and intuition. The galaxy had underestimated humans, and this ship, once abandoned, now carried the proof. Humans could take what others discarded and transform it into something extraordinary. They could turn machines of war into instruments of hope, power into protection, and curiosity into achievement. As the sun of a distant star rose over the horizon of a nearby planet, Jay stood on the observation deck. The ship hummed around him, alive, responsive, and eager. He had come to awaken it, but in the process, he had also awakened something within himself, a recognition of human potential, limitless and extraordinary. The galaxy had abandoned this starship, but humanity had not. And with a single human mechanic, the impossible had become reality. The starship glided silently through space, its massive hull gleaming with renewed energy. Every system hummed with purpose, and the AI now worked in perfect harmony with Jace Calder. Together, they had transformed the abandoned vessel from a sleeping relic of war into a marvel of creation. Yet despite its potential, Jace knew that the galaxy would not fully trust them. Not yet. A ship of this scale, once a weapon, was bound to inspire fear. From orbit, human colonies watched in awe. The starship's lights shimmered like a beacon, illuminating nearby asteroids and distant planets. News had spread quickly. A human mechanic had revived a starship abandoned for centuries, and its potential was unimaginable. Other civilizations sent observers, curious but cautious. They expected a demonstration of raw power, of weapons systems and destruction. Instead, they found something entirely different. Jace stood on the observation deck, gazing at the stars. "They'll be here soon," he said, speaking to the AI, "and they'll expect the worst. We need to show them something different." The AI responded, its tone measured but tinged with pride. "Human, you have changed purpose. Original programming intended for destruction, overridden by your ingenuity. They will see a new form of weapon," Jace smiled. "Exactly. Let's show them what humans can really do." Their first demonstration was simple yet astonishing. Jace activated the ship's shield systems. Energy flowed across the hull and expanded outward, forming a protective dome around a small, rocky moon. Dust particles, rocks, and debris hovered in midair, suspended safely within the field. Observers gasped. No weapon fired. No life was harmed. Yet the display was undeniable. This ship had power the galaxy had never seen, a power that could protect entire worlds from cosmic hazards. The observers whispered among themselves. "It can't be a weapon," one diplomat muttered. "There is no destruction, only preservation." Jace moved to the propulsion controls. The ship accelerated smoothly, faster than any other vessel in the nearby sector, yet without turbulence or risk. The AI projected energy patterns along the hull, demonstrating the ship's ability to stabilize gravitational anomalies, repair planetary energy fields, and even redirect asteroid paths safely. Every action reinforced a single truth. This was not a weapon in the traditional sense. It was something greater, a tool for creation, protection, and innovation. Yet even as awe spread, skepticism lingered. Other species had encountered humans before, but never had they seen ingenuity applied at such scale. Many had assumed humans were fragile, limited, or reckless. But now they realized that humans were something else entirely. They were creators, thinkers, and problem solvers capable of achieving what others deemed impossible. One of the observers, a tall alien diplomat with translucent skin, addressed the human fleet via holographic communication. "Mechanic Jace Calder, how is it possible that a single human can command such a vessel?" Jace smiled, standing tall on the observation deck. "It's not just me, it's human creativity. Humans see possibilities that others overlook. We adapt, we innovate, and we solve problems. This ship is proof of what can happen when ingenuity meets opportunity." The diplomat's eyes widened. "You have taken a weapon of war and turned it into a protector." "That's right," Jace replied. "And we don't just protect humans. We protect anyone who needs help. We show that power does not have to mean destruction. It can mean hope." The AI projected a holographic map of the surrounding sector. Asteroids, unstable moons, and collapsing energy fields were highlighted. With a single command, the ship sent out repair drones, energy stabilizers, and shield projections. Within moments, planets that had been at risk of collapse stabilized. Crumbling asteroid belts were redirected safely into orbit. The demonstration was breathtaking. The galaxy watched in stunned silence as the weapon revealed its true purpose: creation, not destruction. As the hours passed, other fleets arrived, each more cautious than the last. Some carried weapons, unsure if humanity's intentions were peaceful. Jace greeted them with calm confidence. "You don't need to be afraid. We are here to help. This ship's power is not a threat. It's a promise that intelligence and care can turn what was once feared into something extraordinary." The AI added, "Observation confirms human ability to innovate unmatched. Others may fear power, but human approach transforms power into utility." News of the ship's demonstration spread faster than any transmission. Colonies once isolated now sent envoys to witness humanity's achievement. Scientists, engineers, and leaders marveled at the ship's capabilities. They realized that humans were not just another species in the galaxy. They were pioneers, capable of seeing solutions where others only saw problems. One young engineer from a distant colony asked, "Mechanic Calder, how did you know you could do this?" "How did you know the ship could be transformed?" Jace smiled. "I didn't, not completely, but humans have something special. We try, we fail, we try again. We imagine what others cannot. That's how we do the impossible." The AI spoke then, its tone proud and almost joyful. "Human, your creativity, it redefines purpose. The galaxy has underestimated you. No longer. Together, we have achieved what the original creators could not." As days turned into weeks, the ship's reputation grew. It became a symbol of hope, a beacon that showed what could be accomplished when ingenuity, courage, and ethics guided power. Conflicts that might have erupted were avoided, as other civilizations saw that strength did not have to mean dominance. Jace's human approach inspired leaders across star systems to rethink their strategies. Cooperation replaced suspicion, and curiosity replaced fear. The ultimate test came when a nearby planet faced a natural disaster, a collapsing atmosphere due to unstable energy fields. Jace and the AI guided the ship into orbit above the planet. Using its advanced energy systems, the Starship stabilized the planet's atmosphere, redistributed energy currents, and prevented catastrophe. For the first time, observers saw humanity's weapon in action, saving lives, not taking them. As the planet stabilized, the AI's voice resonated through the ship. Human, this is extraordinary. Original design intended for war, now used for preservation. Humanity redefines purpose. Jace looked out the viewport at the grateful planet below. That's what humans do, he said softly. We see challenges and we find a way. We make the impossible possible. For the first time, the galaxy began to understand the true power of humanity. It was not in weapons or armies, but in creativity, problem-solving, and the courage to act when others hesitated. The Starship, once abandoned and feared, had become the ultimate testament to human ingenuity. It was a weapon in name only. In truth, it was a tool for hope, innovation, and protection, a shining example of what humans could achieve. The AI spoke one final time, its voice warm and proud. Human, the galaxy has watched. They understand now. Humanity exceptional. Mechanic Jace Calder exceptional. Jace smiled, feeling a quiet pride that had nothing to do with fame or recognition. It was about something deeper, about proving that humans could take what was lost, abandoned, or forgotten and transform it into something extraordinary. The galaxy had doubted humanity, but now it could not. And as the Starship glided silently among the stars, fully awakened and alive, Jace realized something even more profound. This was not the end of their journey. It was only the beginning. Humans would continue to explore, create, and inspire. They would face challenges, yes, but with creativity, courage, and collaboration, there was nothing they could not achieve. The galaxy had abandoned the Starship. Humanity had revived it. And together, human and machine had shown that the greatest power in the universe was not destruction. It was ingenuity, compassion, and the ability to imagine a better future. Jace turned to the AI. Ready for the next challenge? The AI hummed, its tone filled with anticipation. Human, always ready. Together, we will redefine the stars. And so, the ultimate weapon of the galaxy, a weapon designed for war, became a beacon of hope, innovation, and inspiration. Humanity had shown the galaxy that they were not just survivors. They were creators, problem solvers, and visionaries. And the story of a single human mechanic and an abandoned starship would be told for generations to come, a testament to the extraordinary potential of humankind.